Okay, good afternoon. I beg your pardon. Good evening, and welcome to another edition of Channels Beams Google Plus Hangout. And today we're looking at the crisis in the National Assembly. The leadership of the National Assembly and that of the All Progressives Congress have been at loggerheads over whom should lead the National Assembly. The party had earlier on nominated some people to attain some positions, but against the will of the party, the members chose some others whom they feel should be the leaders in this eighth assembly. Already, we have a precedent in the seventh assembly. We saw what happened with the emergence of now governor of Sokoto State, that's Aminu Tambuwal, and now it is becoming like a trend. But to give us more light, to shed more light on this very contentious issue, we have Mr. Ben Cosmos is calling from Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia. Yaya Yakubu, oh yes, Yaya Yakubu is calling from Istanbul in Turkey, and also Sonny Kiri is in the United Arab Emirates, and he is in Dubai, specifically in there. Oh yeah, you had already started blazing the trail before we began the conversation. So let me just come to you now again to get your perspective on this issue. What do you think? You think the party should be supreme, or do you think the candidates should be above his political party?
Well, first of all, politics, as you know, if you go back in time, as Plato puts it, man by nature is a political animal, and politics is all about interest. So the question is, whose interest? Is it the interest of the electorate, the interest of the politician, or the interest of the party? And in the case of what happened recently in this 8th National Assembly, where you talk about the party, there's the issue about party discipline. This is not alien to Nigerian alone. If you look in the issue of America during when Obama was trying to push for this health reform and migration reforms, there were some Democrats who opposed this. So party discipline is not a new instance. As we all know, politicians tend to push for what is in their own best interest. And legally speaking, what happened in the national in the red chambers that day in Nigeria was legal and binding, because we elected these people under a platform of a party, but they are answerable to the electorate, not the party. This is my own candid opinion. Though it is important to adhere to party discipline if these policies that the party put forward favors the electorate and not just the party. So again, it is a bit contradictory. We have to go back and say, and we have to say, what are the policies of this party? What policies did this party put forward? You cannot, being the fact that you are the majority party, it gives you the authority to select whom you wish to lead your party. But you are in a democratic dispensation whereby every legislator is eligible to present themselves for that position. And Saraki presented himself for the position, even with some party leaders in opposing to his emergence as a leader of the Senate. He presented himself, and he was democratically elected by vote. So legally and binding, I think there was instances of party indiscipline. In the same time, there were democracy triumphed in the same time. So it depends on the view you look at it from.
All right, very well. Yeah, we'll come back to you. But just before we continue, we have Olusegun Dada. He's calling in Lagos, Nigeria, and we have Leo Ubuwane, who is calling from Port Harcourt, Nigeria's south region. Leo, if you can hear us, good evening. Leo, you can hear us, good evening. All right, well, it seems we can't hear Leo. Shagun, if you can hear us, good evening.
Good evening, Victor. How are you today?
All right, fine, thank you. Fine, thank you. All right, so yeah, I just made some comments about what transpired at the National Assembly, pertaining who is supreme, the party or the candidate. But let me just hear from you. What's your view on this issue?
I think I've listened to Maria's comments, and my sense is there's a thin line to be drawn here. More than what we choose to accept, Nigerians voted for the party and not the candidates. These candidates were a product of party supremacy itself, because for some, elections, primary elections were conducted democratically. For some, there was a consensus opinion. For some, there were varying things that made different people emerge on the platform of the APC. So, and at the polls, the people actually voted the party, even though they may have voted because of a particular candidate. But we know for certain that if they did not subject themselves to the party principles, they would never have found themselves at the floor of the National Assembly in the first place. So for me, I think that there's a thin line. Although we might be pushing for democracy, but these people need to be subjected to. There's no independent candidacy in the National Assembly. So if you're there, you are there on the platform of APC or the PDP or the Labour Party or Accord Party or any of the other political parties that are there. You're not there on your own volition. You're there to represent your constituency members, but also on the platform of this particular party. Because if you look at it critically, there are two people or more who signified interest to represent that constituency at the floor of the National Assembly. And they vied for these positions not on their own self, but on the platform of the political party. So for me, I think that party supremacy is going to go a long way. It may look like imposition here, but what were the steps, what were the methods that the party itself went about in picking out the candidates it selected, and the ones it also pushed their names forward to the National Assembly to be announced as leaders of the National Assembly in their various positions. So I think that while we may talk about democracy, what really is democracy? Democracy is the government for the people, by the people, for the people. But there is no independent candidacy in Nigeria. So these people are subjected to political party rules and regulation, even the political party's constitution, above all, they swore an oath of allegiance to be upright members of those political parties as well. So for me, I think that there's a thin line here between democracy and party supremacy. But in this case, maybe Nigerians trusted the party with Nigerians trusted the party in the center and in most states. So if Nigerians themselves went to the polls and voted for this party, the party has a right to say, okay, this is our position, this is our opinion. You may go against it, but is that a betrayal of the party? Yes, it is. Is it a betrayal of the Nigerian people? No, maybe it's a triumph for democracy. But amongst the party men, if there is no rule or order, there's going to be chaos. That's my opinion on this.
All right, Shaguna, thanks for that, but we'll come back again to you. Let's just move forward. Ben, you've heard Yaya and you've heard Shagun as well. But what do you make of the whole situation? What is your take on this issue?
My take is, first of all, I have to say what happened in the National Assembly last time was a disgrace. Although this is not the first time we've seen our lawmakers fighting each other. It happened during the time of Dinomelai, and it's happening again. In fact, the last one that happened during the time of a honorable member died, lost his life, and so it's quite unfortunate that we see these people bullying themselves. That tells us that sometimes personal interests are there. But coming to the issue of party supremacy or the candidate or itself, if you look at from the first time they started this election, they had the primary elections, so and everybody contested for the primary, and at the end, people voted, and the party nominated one person emerged as the winner to fly the party's flag, and unfortunately he won. Came to the federal House of Representatives and the Senate to represent each other. So I think if you look at the whole thing, it goes in line with it was a democratic process. And coming to the National Assembly have the right to elect their own leaders and not what the party wants. Fine, the party can make some suggestions. They can make their own suggestions, say no, this is who we want. This is who we want. But you can only make suggestions in your own party. You make your own suggestion based on you are an APC member, and you call the members of your party and say, no, look, this is the person we want. And the people will go also and sit down, and other party members in the house and say, no, look, this is who we think that can also represent us. Because if you go in the National Assembly now, it's no longer between a PDP or APC affair. It becomes a Nigerian affair. And whoever becomes the president, Senate president, or the speaker becomes the speaker and the Senate president of the whole country, and not just for his own party member. And I think what happened was democratic. Bukola Saraki came out for himself. He presented himself, and they voted for him. Dogara, and okay, if you say that Bukola Saraki was a bit disobedient, what of that of Dogara and his counterpart from Lagos State? It was a clean contest. It was a clear contest. So and Dogara won. Unfortunately, the APC, their own choice wasn't nominated, but they just have to accept the defeat. You know, it's just a party issue. Personal interest is there. It's so clear from both angles. It could be a personal interest from probably the leaders of the party who felt, no, this person can represent us. But I think what I've seen, what I saw in the National Assembly was purely democratic. And so you can't take it out. For you to come and say you're organizing a kind of mock election, to it doesn't make sense. Those mock is just for his own. The party members in the National Assembly will also have to sit down and cast their own vote. And whoever emerges the winner, you know, you're free to contest. Anybody is free to contest. It's a free for all. But who wins the election becomes the leader there. That is what I see there. So the issue of party supremacy or no party supremacy has nothing to do here. Though the party can make their own choice, they can say this is who we want. But the National Assembly is saddled with the responsibility to choose their leaders who will lead them in this National Assembly, to choose who will lead them, who will propel them to pass better bills, make better laws for the country. The members of the House of Assembly and the Senate have the right to choose who their leaders are. It's no longer a party affair where one or two persons go to sit down and make one or two appointments and impose it on others. It won't work that way. That era has gone. I think this is what I see that is happening now.
All right, very well, Ben. Of course, I know maybe Yahaya and Shagun, maybe they have some things to say to some of the things you said, but we'll come back. Yeah, Shagun, all right. You want to say something about what he said? Okay. Shagun, please. Shagun, just hold on a bit. Let's hear first from, I've noted that, let's hear first from Sonny, who has also been around and he's been quiet and listening. Let's just hear his own opening statement, and then we can continue from you now, trying to respond to some of the things that have been said either by Yahya or Ben. All right, Sonny, good evening once again. You're also having a bad lighting. Can you increase the lights in your room? Okay, so, and we also can't hear you. So while you sort that out and you sort the lights in your room, let us hear from Shagun. He was trying to respond to some of the comments made by Ben. All right, Shagun, please go ahead.
Thank you. I think Ben has been quite forgetful about the current events that led to where we are right now. First and foremost, this mock election thing that you can say you do not agree with was what brought about President Muhammadu Buhari. The APC within itself had candidates who said, okay, I am good enough to vie for this office. I want to be president. They had about 4 or 5 candidates that wanted to vie for the office of the president. And they ran on the platform, and the APC said, come, let us organize a primary. Who is most popular among the delegates? The Nigerians are secondary in choosing within the party calls its delegates members of the party. Is this person acceptable enough within our party? Let us put it to a vote. Whoever wins the most votes is our candidate for the party, which is what brought about primaries, which can also be called mock elections. Now, they conducted the primary election within those 5 candidates, and at the end of the day, one won out of them. The one with the highest number of votes casted won the primaries in person of President Muhammadu Buhari. The other candidates as well felt they were entitled to contest for this position because they are Nigerians, first of all. But they had to subject themselves to the fact that, okay, our party has decided, our party delegates have decided. It is clear cut that that had 2-3 votes at the primaries compared to somebody that had over 10,000 votes. I cannot now say, oh, because they came together and said, okay, you are the most popular person in our party, we will go ahead and support you to win the secondary. That is thereby marketing you to the Nigerian people. Now, the mock elections you talk about that are held during the APC, before the Senate presidency election, was a call to contest among their peers. It was not an election between strangers or ordinary people. It was within senators, it was within National Assembly members representing the APC at the floor of the National Assembly. Now, the idea was to pick the most popular candidate. It was supposed to be a situation where if what happened at the presidential primaries repeats itself at the senatorial primaries, whoever loses will congratulate whoever wins and work with the person to make sure that if the other parties bring somebody else to say, okay, we want to go against you nonetheless, the person would not win because they have majority at the floor of the house. So the mock elections were to show who is more popular between Lawan and Saraki. Saraki now showed that he is more popular with the senators that are not APC members than the senators that are APC members. Because at the end of the day, he got some APC members, APC senators to vote for him, and most of the PDP senators also endorsed him. So it is a clear-cut case of disobeying party orders. This is something we would have criticized Vice President Atiku for. This is something we would have criticized Rocha Sokorocha if he had gone out against the parties, against the presidential primaries to say, even though I lost, I don't care. I still want to run on the. I'm still going to run on the platform of the APC. I'm going to present myself forward. So even though Saraki ran as an independent candidate, he won. That cannot be contested. But as he disobeyed his party, the party that saw him fit to give him the mandate to run on their platform, as he disobeyed that party, yes. As he disobeyed the Nigerian people, no, maybe. But we know for certain that among the party members, if you say the ambition against of someone else is just somebody's imposition, what about the people that voted? What about the people that endorsed? What about the people that voted for Bajabia Mila? Is that not disobedience of the party supremacy, of the party's directive? The party cannot decide for Nigerians, yes. But the truth is that let us not be forgetful. Let us not be unfair to history. We'll be unfair to history by saying that the party has no role in making an opinion or in coming together to say this is the common front we want to present. It does not necessarily have to, everybody does not necessarily have to agree with it. If everybody does not agree with it, then the ones that don't agree go and partner with the other side to get what they want anyways. It still doesn't mean that they are loyal members of the party. They have disobeyed the party's directive. So in this case, the party supremacy that we're talking about is not necessarily that Saraki has done anything legally or morally wrong. It is now a case of as he disobeyed this party that entrusted him with the mandate to run on this platform. So Ben, I would really like for you to understand that even though we want to be patriotic and we want democracy, if we have a situation where people flounder laws to suit their personal purpose, going against the tradition of a political party, it may be good. It may be good for us at the moment, but the truth is, it's going to result in chaos if everybody just decides to take his own decisions, irrespective of whatever the group is swore his allegiance and he ran on their mandate to do. As is a dangerous trend. We cannot continue to encourage something like that. Once and for all, we must ensure that there's discipline within the political parties in Nigeria, because we see that is what has caused a lot of problem for APC and for the PDP that made them lose the election, and this is now what is causing the same problem for the APC right now. We must insist, even as Nigerians, we must insist on discipline within the party. If you are not going to, if you do not believe in the party's leadership, if you don't believe in their mandate, if you don't believe in what they stand for, you have no business running on their platform. If you run on their platform, you win that election, then they say, okay, based on the campaign objectives that we have presented to Nigeria, this is who we believe that can suit our campaign objective by virtue of majority votes among APC senators. If you go against it, that makes you a betrayal to the party's directive. Let us try and keep to issues. That's That's what I want to react to. Thank you.
All right, very well, Shogun. While we were talking, there were some smiles going on around. Yeah, yeah, I can see you're still smiling. I don't know if you agree with what Shogun was saying or you are in the parents of what he said, but let's just hear from you. What are the smiles for?
Well, first of all, I would like to state that, Mr. Shegun, I totally respect your view and opinion. What your opinion as regards the mock election? Let me remind you, as you said, it is a mock election, and the National Assembly and the Senate doesn't just consist of APC members; it also consists of PDP members and other parties as well, as you have acknowledged yourself. So, and you have to understand that APC is a party that came together from there are different blocks with different interests, of which interests have to be represented. And we have seen what party imposition has given us in the last 16 years of democratic rule in Nigeria. We have seen, and we have seen the list, and we have reaped the list of dividends of democracy as a result of party imposition of the previous rule, of the previous administration, of the previous ruling party. I wouldn't want to mention names, but you and I know very much well what party imposition has cost we, the masses of Nigerians. What happened in National Assembly, Saraki presented himself as a candidate under a party, and Dogara also being endorsed by a certain group, or Bajamila, the other candidate, being endorsed by a certain block of the party, presented himself. And there's a disagreement. Saraki is from PDP, and the other candidates were from AC. So you have to understand that APC is not a single party. It has to represent the interest of all these blocks. Considering that, and man by nature, as I earlier mentioned, is a political animal, we always go for our own self-interest first before the interest of others. What Saraki did, I am not saying he did not validate party supremacy, but constitutionally and legally what Saraki did was binding. He had a coalition with the opposition party, even though it is contrary to discipline. This is not alien to Nigeria alone. It happens even in the most developed democracies in the world. The only country we can say that has party discipline in the world is Canada, actually, if you do your research very well. Even in America, there's no party discipline. The Democrats stand against Obama as regards migration laws and health reform laws. So, Mr. Shegun, I would want you to go back. I would advise you to go back, and probably you should go into more details of what parliamentary and or party supremacy versus candidacy means. We elected these people under a platform of a party to represent the interests of Nigerians, not the interests of the party. Nigerian democracy has not gotten to a stage whereby we have independent candidates, and neither in the developed world we rarely see independent candidates. These people came under a platform of a party. There was a primary election. They won the primary election. Subsequently, Nigerians elected them to represent their interest, the interest of Nigerians, in quote again, the interest of Nigerians, not the interest of the party, even though they were elected under this party. So Saraki presenting himself as a candidate was legally and democratically binding. And the events that took place in the National Assembly on the issue of the voting, of which Saraki emerged leader of the Senate, is democratically and legally binding. Though I am not a lawyer by profession, I'm a political scientist. It is legally and democratically binding. So I will suggest, Mr. Shegun, you should reconsider your stance on imposition of candidates, because we have seen where that has led us in the last 16 years of the previous administration, whereby parties imposed candidates on Nigerians. So hold on. Nigerians elected Saraki on the platform of the APC to represent the interest of Nigerians or the interest of the APC. No. I asked a question. I asked you a question. Is it the interest of the APC that Saraki is meant to represent all the interests of the Nigerians who elected him? Which comes first? No, just answer my question. Is it okay? Ideology. Yeah, hold on. We vote. You vote. You vote because of you vote. Well, let me, as regards that, this is another discussion entirely, and I guess there are other people. I guess there are other people. Hold on, Mr. Shegun.
Uh, all right,
Let's be
all right, guys.
civil.
Let's hold it a bit. You know, like I said earlier, we can make use of the chat box when someone is saying something you totally disagree with. You can just put that in the chat box, and then when we come to you, we will just read that and then also get that person to react. But in the meantime, let's also hear from Sonny. Yaya and Shogun have dominated this hangout since we started. So let's take a chill pill from you guys and let's listen to Sonny. Sonny, what's going on? Can we? Your light is good now. I hope your audio is as well. Hello, Sonny. Okay, unfortunately, we still can't hear you, Sonny. I think your audio still needs to be fixed. Kindly do that, and then kindly do that, and then we'll come back to you once again. All right, Ben, let me just come to you again, taking a chill pill from
Okay.
Yaya, Shegun. They've been having it really, really on this hangout. But I mean, you've listened to both of them. Now they're talking about who. It's not about the legality of the whole issue. Now it's like talking about the interest, whose interest should be well represented in this whole issue as regards what transpired in the
I think
National
number
Assembly.
one, I think what is there is that if you look at any number one, the constitution makes it clear that before you can run for any public office, you must belong to a political party. Our constitution doesn't allow us to run to have an independent candidate. So it's left for you as an individual to think whose political party will be suitable for you to run for an election. And if you go to that party, you are subjected to a primary elections. And if you win the primary, automatically the party will present you to the public as their flag bearer. So it's left for the people to decide, to look inward in each of the candidates, which qualities they think they have. Because Nigerians will cast their vote based on the individual and not on the political party. You can have a very beautiful political party, but if the candidates you are presenting to us are not good enough, if we see that the candidates that are running under the platform of your party cannot perform and deliver the dividends of democracy to us, we'll vote for your party. We'll vote for the other party who will think that candidate is much more better. Goodluck has lost the election. The reason is because Nigerians felt, look, we think Buhari is a strong hand. He can do this job better than Jonathan for now. He has tried. So let us give Buhari our vote. We have not given our vote to APC, but the APC becomes a four-way drive in which Buhari ran for this election and he won. Individually, Buhari can never win this election. He must belong to a political party. And now that he has won, that he will serve the interest of Nigeria and not the political party. The political party is just a machine, is just like a tool for him to present himself, in which the constitution has made it clear that you must belong to a political party. So it is in the Senate, in the House of Representatives, and in the Senate. Everybody there is equal. The Senate president is just first among the equals there, and all of them are eligible to run for that seat of the Senate president. No candidate is disallowed. Everybody can run as long as you are in that house. You are qualified to be a Senate president. The issue remains that will they vote for you? Saraki has presented himself. Dogara presented himself. Lawan presented himself. All of them presented themselves. So, and probably everybody will have to pitch his tent. I, as an individual, I will pitch my tent on somebody who I think, oh, you must not. At this time, you don't have to sit on the fence. You must belong to a particular. You must belong to somebody who you think you will vote for, whether he's your party member or not. So elections were done, Saraki won, Dogara won. PDP members voted for him, and some part of the APC members also voted for him. It was not an open ballot something. Everybody have to go there and cast his vote. And at the end, somebody won. So it doesn't matter if the party says, if they go back and say they're having their own mock elections, and they want to bring out Lawal for him to contest based on, because you think he has been in the Senate, in the House of Assembly for 4 years, and you want to, based on that, you think he has more experience. No, just it's political. Cast your vote. If you win, you go in there. If you lose, you step down. The winner you have to work with the winner, and that is just clear. Everything is clear. It was transparent. In fact, I was thinking they would even go to court, and unfortunately, they couldn't go. It was some argument came up if they have formed a quorum or not. Of course, a quorum was formed. The sixth assembly was, I mean, this seventh assembly was to be inaugurated by the 6th of June, and of course, on that 6th of June, some APC member felt, look, we have a call, we are going to National Assembly to have our own meeting, whatever, and they left their national duty to go for their own personal meeting, for their own personal interest. For me, that is what I see it. And other people came and said, look, we are here for the business of the day, and we saw in, and we have to, we don't have to wait for you. The date is clear. This is when our tenure will start, and this is when our tenure will expire, and we're all there. So if we are 30 number, and let me tell you, if it was only the PDP members that were in the House of Assembly, whosoever they nominate as the Senate President automatically becomes the Senate President, whether the APC likes it or not, and they cannot impeach him. That is just the truth. You see, so it's just clear. So for them to go there and they are doing their own meeting, it's just their own personal interest. For me, I think they are fighting for their own personal interest. Fine, you might say, no, Bukola Saraki might have some little questionable character. Well, but the process in which he emerged as a Senate President is so clear. It was constitutional.
All right, Ben. All right. Okay, very well, Ben. And let's come to Sonny. Sonny is back again, and I hope his audio is also in good condition to let him be a part of this conversation. Sonny, once again, we're back to you. We still can't hear you, Sonny. Can you make use of the normal speakers and the microphone of your computer? Are you using it? All right, so just what you will do is check the settings. If you look at the middle of the screen, you have settings, you have some...
Everything. I don't know what is the problem.
All right, finally, Sonny, you're now on board. We can hear you. Thanks for coming. We can hear you, Sonny. And you're off again. All right, so I don't know what you did rightly just in few seconds ago. I mean, we could hear you, but now you're off again, so we have to just move on and hope that you do.
Hear me now?
What did you say? Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay, good evening.
All right, good evening. Good evening once again. Just go ahead. We've had
talks a lot about this issue. I think when you're talking about politics and that of the National House of Assembly, I think the party supremacy and after the election of the National Assembly, because party is not going to be the people in the National Assembly to dictate who and who to be their leaders. So I think the process was clear, and they have emerged their leader. So it's better for the party APC to leave them so that they can go to their normal daily basis on the platform of their various parties, because the issue that is drawing Nigerians back. And if you look at business news now, because of lack of functional government, we don't have basic ministries in place now. So according to business analysis, we are losing a lot of money. So I think the best thing now, we have the Senate President, we have the Speaker of House of Representatives, so the party should allow them to take care of business instead of drawing us back, because National House of Assembly and the Senate is not a state whereby a one man will dictate for people to who will be the speaker, who will be the president. This is national issue. It's no longer a party affair. So APC should get that into their heads and let those people that the honorable members elected to be their members, their leaders to carry on their duties, because it's drawing us back, because we are not going anywhere with it. I think we shouldn't be talking about this at this time of our democracy. Party party is just like an airline that you enter to a place, and after getting to that destination, your airline doesn't have control over you. That is just the issue of political party. It's just a platform whereby you came in to do your marketing. After getting the job done, or the interest of those members, they are responsible to their various constituencies, not a political party. They are going to represent their constituency, those people who voted for them in their various states. So I think that of APC, they are taking this thing too far. I think they should try to call themselves in order and forget about this issue and let the normal business of the house begin, because it's not having any issue. Because if you keep on saying that they don't obey party, they don't do this, they have won the election and there is nothing you can do. You can't impeach any of them. Even according to what I saw that very day, even though the APC member were in the Senate House, that of Saraki would have even won the election, because majority of people decided to vote for him, because they see that they trust in him and they believe that he can do the job for them. So I don't see any reason the members of APC will still be uh, fighting for this kind of issue. It's very clear that the leaders, I mean the people in the house, they want Saraki to be their leader, and there is nothing you can do about it, because National House of Assembly is not a community, or it's not a local government whereby some group of individuals want to decide for the entire senators in the House to choose their leader. It's a platform whereby you have people from various parties, and these parties have decided to elect their leader who wants to represent, who they think can represent them well. So I think APC members should try to understand this fact that it's not every time you have the control. So they should let the National Assembly go on with their normal.
All right, very well then. Okay, just in question, let me come back to you, Shagun. And this same issue happened in 2011, and there was this which was what produced the speakership of Aminu Waziri Tambol as then Speaker of the House. And I remember also some parties. It was like he got votes also from some other political parties, the ACN, now defunct ACN, and others who felt Honorable Mulikat Adeola Akande was not fit. What has changed now? Okay, very well. Yeah, you seem to have a comment to what he was saying, but just make it snappy.
These people were elected under a platform of a party to represent the interests of the Nigerians and not the interest of the party. We have seen what imposition of candidates by political party has cost Nigerians for the last 60 days of the rule of the former party in leadership. And we cannot have somebody whom is not a member of the legislative sit in his house, conduct a mock election, and elect people. And as Mr. Sonny earlier said, the date for the inauguration of the 8th National Assembly was stated, and some members willingly left the assembly to go outside and have their own meeting or caucus or whatever you call it. So, irrespective of how you see it, Saraki might have, in a way, defied orders of the party, but he was elected democratically, and his emergence as a leader of the Senate is legal and binding. This is my opinion on as regards the issue. And Mr. Shegun, I would like to go back to my question that I asked you, if you wouldn't mind answering that question. Do you think we, as Nigerians now, need more of party supremacy or democratic emergence, the democratic means of emergence of leadership? Which one is more favorable, imposition of candidate or democratically elected candidates?
Party imposition. There's a there's this belief that is out there that will be dictating for the entire party. Now, if the party says this is the person we want, as the members of the party come out to say we disagree with the choice of this person in any way, imposition in this case is the party presenting a common ground forward to say this is the person that we want to run on our platform. The same way they did for census or by primaries is to say this is our common ground. This is the person we believe in. This is the person that every one of us in this party. It is not about Nigerians now. This thing is a three-tiered system. If you want to run for office, run on our platform, you will be subject to their terms, opinions, and conduct. It's not to punish you if you flout it. Now, if they present you forward, is that imposition on the Nigerian people? The Nigerian people still have a right to say, okay, we vote you from the platform of this party, or no, we reject you from the platform of this party. Saraki flouted the party's directive by running. He won. There is no legal issue to him being the Senate president. But did he flout his party's directive? That is the question that we're having on this topic. And the topic here is that the party supremacy. Has this person flouted the party's directive? He has. Is this party's directive one man's imposition? Maybe, maybe not. But this is the same leadership you subscribe to several times. At what point did they become wrong? It is not about him being rightly right. It's about him being wrongful to his own political party that elected him. It's not a matter for Nigerians. If the party says, despite the fact that you have become Senate president, we are still going to discipline you because we said, don't do this, and you did it. It doesn't matter. It is a party internal affair. So I don't understand why you feel that if a party presents a position forward, it's imposition. It is not. It is subject to other people's, other the Nigerian People's Directive and or the National Assembly members agreeing with what the party has said. So for me, I think if this answers your question, I don't think that Saraki's election as Senate President is under any legal contention. I don't think so, and I have never brought that up. The only thing I have said again and again is that he has flouted his party's directive, and if his party reserves the right to discipline him for that act, whether it wants to or whether it doesn't want to is another issue entirely. I hope that answers your question, Mr.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, sir.
Like you said, Mr. Shegun, the party has a right to put forward the candidate.
Yes.
And other members of the party also have a right to disagree with that candidacy. Am I right?
Exactly. Yes,
and
that's what I said.
Mr. Saraki disagreed with the candidacy put forward by the party, and he put himself forward.
And he won.
Yes.
Does the party have a right to discipline him for misconduct?
Well, it depends.
Mr. Yaya, answer the question. Does the party, as a party, the party came? Wait, I'm asking a question, sir. I'm asking the question now.
Did you listen to Mr.
Does the party have a right? No, listen, sir. Does the party have a right to say, since we came out with this common front, and you said no, you won legally and morally, we still have a right to discipline you? Does the party have a right to discipline him or not?
Most definitely. The party has a right.
So what exactly is your contention, sir?
My contention is that there is no single one candidate in any democratic election. If you come out and I decide to also come out, the fact that we are from the same party doesn't mean, I think there's a message.
You're contradicting yourself, sir.
No.
If that is the case, would it have been acceptable to you?
If the party put forward a candidate, listen,
yes.
Mr. Stegun, hold up. If the party put forward a candidate, they say Mr. Stegun is our consensus candidate, and I, Yahaya, disagree with that and put myself forward, and I win in any democratic dispensation of which a certain date has been stated and stipulated for the inauguration of the assembly. And some members,
this is not under contention. I don't know why you're still arguing on this. This is not under contention. The question here is that, has this person flouted his party's directive, and does the party reserve the right to discipline him?
No.
Wait. I think you have to look at on what grounds has he.
So, Mr. Olusegun, let me come in. Before the party can discipline any candidate, it is when the candidate is trying to play anti-party politics. That is when they can discipline him. But under this, it is not anti-party politics to under this situation.
Listen, sir. It is not anti-party politics for the PDP to come out to say we have endorsed the APC candidate, this APC member as Senate President. It is not
left the call officially, so I guess this argument is between ourselves because there's a notification that just came in from Victor. I got it from my Twitter. He said they are having a bit of internet issues, so they have left the call, but they will join in feed. So we can be civilized now.
Nigeria, you are welcome to Nigeria, man.
Thank you very much. So we can be civilized. We can be civilized now and discuss morally. Okay. I'm glad Mr. Victor is back.
Victor is back.
Thank you very much, Victor, for joining us. I guess you missed a very heated part of the conversation between myself and Mr. Shegun as usual. So I guess I have taken much time of this medium, so I would like to give the podium to others so that they can have their own opinion as well. And Mr. Shegun, please, you can look me up on Twitter and we can have a private conversation, myself and you. I would really much love that, if it is okay with you.
Okay, so I really did miss the exchange that went on. I will have to review that later on in the day to see what actually transpired. But just also, we're even running out of time right now. We're supposed to end this at 8 o'clock. So Ben, let me just come to you and get your last word just before we go. Who do you think should be supreme, the party or the candidate?
I think the candidate is number one when it comes to national issues here. The party can only have a say, but once you've given Nigerians a candidate and we have voted for them, we expect them to perform, not the party. That is my own comment here. And Bukola Saraki, the party has given him the mandate to run for the Senate. He won the primaries, and he has come to the Senate just like every other senators are equal. The difference is just that he's first among the equals. Everybody has the right to run, as long as that Senate, that floor, that house is concerned. Everybody, PDP, APC, ABGA, whatever political party you're coming from, they all have the right to run for that post. You see, but if based on their own formula of zoning, they say we are putting this in a particular place, and we have the likes of Akume, George Akume, Bukola Saraki, and in fact, I was even told that David Mark was also vying for the seat. You see, and unfortunately, his colleague voted for him to go in there. I don't think he has faulted any party supremacy there. The parties only trying to play their own normal politics and forgot that. And I think the whole issue is because they are being carried away because they won. I think this is making their head grow so big, thinking that they can, because they have won the election, and so they have to, whatever they say is final. No, I think that is, they got it all wrong. So they should remove that from their head and know that, look, the elections is over. And have carried this, that whatever we say, because we are now ruling, and no, it won't work. It will not work that way anymore. Okay, now we are watching Buhari. I'm sure he would take, they might give him some ministerial lists. I'm sure he will not take all of them. So I don't think they will say, okay, fine, if we have given a ministerial list, because I'm sure this issue will also come out. Maybe they have presented a candidate for him, and he's in the process of selecting the candidate he thinks that will work for him. And I'm sure most of the candidates, he will drop them, and they will let come and say, fine, he has disobeyed the party's orders, and because of that, we want you to give this person a minister. You're giving it to. I don't think this whole issue will still come out. It's still the same thing here. It's still the same thing here, because this same thing will happen. This same thing that just happened in the National Assembly will happen in the presidency level. I'm sure maybe he's trying to sort out things. That is why he has been unable for now to give us his ministerial list, and you have to send those lists to the Senate. I'm sure this kind of things is just played some underground, which you and I are not seeing. But I'm sure this kind of thing is going on there, because I'm sure Buhari will definitely not accept anything they give to him. He will not accept anything they give to him. He will take some and throw out some. And so you can't say because of you have not accepted everything we wanted, you have flattened the party's orders and all that. I don't think so. Now Bukola Saraki is there as the Senate President of the whole country, APC, PDP, Nigeria as large, and if anything we think we find him wanting or any questionable character, the Senate knows what to do. They will vote him out of office, and and look for a competent hand to replace him. That's all.
All right, very well. Sonny, let me also come to you to get your last word before we go.
Hello?
Yeah, hello, go on, Sonny.
Yeah, I think party is a platform whereby you can register and contest for election, and after the election, you are responsible for every other person, not the party alone. So therefore, at this issue, as it is, the party should leave the National Assembly leadership for them to decide who and who to be the principal officer and who to lead them, because the party cannot come to the National Assembly to decide for them. They are the ones who are going to be in that place and submit bill and speak for themselves, so not party. So if party is trying to come up to decide for them, it means we are not going to have anything. We are not going to have any good thing from them, because it's what party wants that they will be talking about. And I believe maybe this is one of the reasons they are trying to impose candidates on the other members of the Senate, so that they can control them and know what bill to pass and what law not to make. So the party has no right in any senator. Once he is declared winner of Senate, he became responsible for his constituency, not party anymore. So therefore, APC should put their house in order, because they are drawing us back. They are drawing Nigeria back. This is not what Nigerians voted for. Nigerians voted for change, and the change is progressive, not retrogressive. So they should allow the members of the house to do their normal business, not fighting, not going against each other. So that is what I want them to do. They should put their house in order. Before you know it, this year is already gone. So they don't have time. They should think very well and try to put good governance to the people, not fighting each other because of one position. It's not one person interest. It's all about giving Nigerians good governance. Therefore, they should try to avoid anything that will make the public see them as conspicuous people. That is what I have. They should allow the membership of the two chambers to put their leaders and do their normal daily business. Thank you.
All right, very well. Oyis, let's now come to you here, Kubu. Also, just to, in wrapping up now, what would be your closing statement?
Yeah, I actually agree with my colleague who just spoke that we as a candidate runs under a platform of a party, and upon winning an election, is responsible to his constituents, not his party. So the issue of party supremacy, I think, ends upon election, and every candidate in the National Assembly on that floor is eligible to put themselves forward for that position. So I would say that candidacy definitely and should in any liberal democratic dispensation come over party supremacy, because party imposition in the last 16 years in Nigeria has taken us nowhere. So what happened in the National Assembly, I am quite in support of it because it is democratic and it's legally binding. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you everyone, of course, for coming on board. Sonny, you're in Dubai, United Arab Emirates. Yahya, Oyus, Yakubu, you are in Istanbul, in Turkey, and Ben, you're in Kuala Lumpur, in Malaysia. I am here in Lagos, Nigeria, and of course, it is a Channels Beams Google Plus Hangout, and we thank all of you who are watching via our YouTube channel. Yes, it was a pleasure having all of you, and then we will be having a big part of this conversation aired live tomorrow on Channels TV at 2:30 p.m. in Nigeria. And if you're watching online, but if you are in the UK, it will be aired at 3:30 p.m. on Sky. Thank you all once again for coming on board and sharing your thoughts on this issue. Now it is goodbye.
Thank you.